I don't know what hell's like. I don't know whether they got it, to if that's the degree it is or whatever it is. But I do know this. This is a place that no one wants to go to. And what we got to realize is why would, when we quote a loving God, we see the love of the Savior, we see the love of God, why would He allow anybody to go to a place like this? This is the question. This is what this video is about. And what man has been blinded to, and the reason that he cannot understand that there could be a place like that is because he does not see sin the same way God sees sin.
Right.
So he does not see the wickedness of his heart. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked, and who can know the depths of its wickedness? Man does not see sin the same way God does. God realizes that where did sin come from? Sin originated from the heart of the wicked one.
Yeah.
And so if you live holy, you're living like God. If you live in sin, you're living like the wicked one.
Yep.
And that's why there's a separation. There is no sin in heaven. There is no sin in the presence of God. There is only holiness and righteousness.
That's right.
And in hell, there is what is of the devil, sin. And that's where you go. It is his world. It is what sin brings upon the human being.
Yep.
This is why God did not want one person to go to this place. Whatever it is, whatever's going on in this place is not what God has for man. But what man does not understand is that sin is what sends him there. And God can have no place of sin in His heaven.
That's right.
This is why He came to destroy the works of the devil.
That's right.
He that sinneth is of the devil, for the devil sinneth from the beginning. But for this purpose the Son of God was manifested. And this is what we got to understand. This is what man does not see. This is what man is blinded from. Man is blinded from the fact that sin will send him to hell. Sin is an abomination in the eyes of God. And He doesn't want you to go to that place of torment. He wants you to come and live with Him eternally. But we are blinded to the wickedness, the depths of sin that is destroying mankind.
That's right.
That's what that video is about. We got to understand that God does not want us to go there, but He cannot help if we choose to go there.
That's right.
And this is why we've got to open people's eyes to the point that sin is an abomination in God's eyes.
Yeah.
When He looks at us, He says, please, please, live my way. Obey my commandments. Live to my degree of holiness, my degree of righteousness. Because if you don't, I can't do anything for you. I've come and done everything I can do to keep you from going to this place.
That's right.
I've done everything I can do. Please don't go to this place. But you've got to give up your sin.
That's right.
You can't live like the devil and come to heaven.
That's right, man.
You got to give it all up. You got to lay it all down if you want to live like me. If you want to be like me, if you want to walk in my holiness, in my place of peace and joy and love, it's all got to come out. It's all got to come down in your life. It can only be that way if you want to live eternally with me.
That's right.
And this is what mankind does not understand. He thinks that he can live like the devil and then go to heaven. You can't go to a place of holiness and righteousness and peace and love and joy when it's not already in your heart. John Wesley says, how can you think you're going to live in heaven when there's not heaven in your heart here? You got to have heaven in your heart here. Then we are prepared as holy and righteous vessels that can go into His kingdom of peace and love and holiness and righteousness. But we have to have it here. to be prepared to walk into his kingdom as he is. For herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment. For as he is, so are we in this world. We need to be prepared in this world to walk into his holiness and his righteousness. Because if that's not in our hearts, he can't help us. Because if sin and wickedness and deceitfulness is in our hearts, then we have to go where that place is. That's where that place dwells. Hell. And this is why we got to get it across to the world, that sin. We got to see sin the same way God sees sin.
That's right.
It's of the enemy. It's not of God. It's holiness and righteousness and sin are so totally separate from each other. And the world does not see this. That's what he said. He came into the world. Jesus came into the world. He was light, but men love darkness rather than light. And this is what we've got to be able to reach out. This is the burden that we got to have. This is the reason we got to stay on our face in our prayer closets and pray and fast and seek God. That the blinders will be taken off the world, that they'll see that their sin is going to separate them because they're living like the devil.
That's right.
That's who their God is. That's what they're going to face. They're going to face the reality that they lived according to the devil and not according to God. And I don't have anything more to say about it except for that we have got to realize that God sees sin totally opposite of what we see. His ways are higher than our ways, and he sees sin as such an abomination. And he sent his son to die that we don't have to live like the devil. We don't have to live that way. And we can be holy and righteous like him. And he can't do nothing for us beyond that. It's our choice. It's up to us. Are you going to choose to live God's way in holiness and righteousness? Or are you going to choose to live wickedly and in sin, and there's nothing left? And his heart breaks that we don't see that. Please, he says, please, man, I sent my son. Live like me. Live like him. And you can come and live with me for eternity. Because if you don't, you're going to face whatever that was. Whether that's it or not, I don't know. But I know it's a bad, bad place. A bad place.
It's powerful, man.
That's what we got to realize, man. It's life and death. He paid a horrible price. Think of that price. Think of right now what Christ did on that cross for you. What he did before he got to that cross. They beat him. They beat him and just brutalized him. They said his face was marred beyond anything that we can even imagine as they stuck that crown of thorns on his head, and his head swelled completely out of proportion from what a man's figure should look like. And they beat him over the head with their scepters, and they took, Cut of 9 tells him, just laid his back wide open. They spit in his face. And then they took him and they nailed it right in his hands and in his legs, and he was beyond pain that we can't even comprehend, and he did that so we don't have to face that.
That's right.
We don't have to face that. What else can God do? What else can God do? He paid a horrible price that we can walk holy and righteous before our God, so that we can go and live in purity with him. But yet we choose to continue to live like the devil. We can't do it. We can't do it. Mankind cannot do it. And that's why we've got to reach out. That's why you guys go. That's why you guys go out there to the games, to the concerts. That's why you go, to plant seeds and to love them. Tell them the truth, man. Tell them the truth, but tell them in the love and the compassion of Christ.
He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised because of our iniquities. The chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we can be healed. All we like sheep have been led astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord laid upon him the iniquity of us all. Your sin put him on the cross. He did that for you, so you'd never see the eternal lake of fire. Friends, who does that? Who does that for you? That's why Jesus Christ said such harsh things. Because Jesus said this in Matthew chapter 13, starting at verse 41. He said, the Son of Man is going to send out his angels and gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and those who practice lawlessness, and cast them into a furnace of fire. There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth.